Lifestyle inflation, bad habits, hidden money leaks. That is the reason most people stay broke even when they start making more money. They think the bigger paycheck will solve everything, but then the apartment gets nicer, the food gets more expensive, the subscriptions multiply, the small rewards become normal, and somehow the stress stays exactly where it was before. More income arrives, real progress does not. The paycheck grows, but the feeling of being behind barely changes. This is one of the most frustrating traps in personal finance, because it feels illogical from the inside. People assume that once they make more, they will naturally save more, invest more, and feel more secure. But money does not automatically create structure. It amplifies whatever system is already there. If your habits are weak at a lower income, a higher income often just gives those weak habits more fuel. More money magnifies patterns. It does not magically correct them. That is the hard truth. Being broke is not always about low income. Sometimes it is about high spending, invisible leakage, emotional decisions, and a financial life with no real architecture. A raise can improve your life, but it cannot fix a broken system by itself. Systems decide where money goes. Income only decides how much enters the room. If the structure is weak, more income simply creates a larger version of the same instability. Hey, I'm Kira. By the end of this video, you will understand why more income often fails to create wealth. The 3 biggest reasons people stay broke after raises, promotions, or better jobs, and what to do instead if you want your next income jump to actually change your life instead of just upgrading your stress. Because earning more is helpful. But without control, it is not transformative. Let's start with lifestyle inflation, the most obvious and most socially normalized trap. This is when your spending rises automatically as your income rises. You get a raise, and suddenly your standards shift. Better phone, better car, better apartment, more delivery, more travel, more convenience, more, I deserve this. None of these upgrades feel extreme alone. That is why lifestyle inflation is so dangerous. It hides inside normal-looking improvement. It rarely announces itself as self-sabotage. The problem is not enjoying better things. The problem is when every increase in income gets absorbed by a higher cost of living before your wealth has time to change. If your lifestyle expands at the same speed as your earnings, you can work harder for years and still remain financially fragile. Bigger income, same vulnerability. That is the illusion. Progress in lifestyle gets mistaken for progress in wealth. Looking more successful and becoming more secure are not the same process. Then come the bad habits. And this is where the problem gets personal. Some people save reactively instead of automatically. Some swipe first and think later. Some rely on credit to smooth out bad planning. Some treat bonuses like free money instead of strategic money. Some never look at account balances because awareness feels uncomfortable. Higher income does not erase those habits. It just makes them more expensive. A loose system becomes a costly system very quickly. This is why people can go from under-earning to high-earning and still feel broke. The external number changed. The internal behavior did not. If you spend whatever is available, then available simply becomes a larger number. If you avoid planning, more income just creates a larger mess. If you use money emotionally, more income gives your emotions a bigger budget. That is not a money problem first. It is a behavioral problem wearing an income costume. And costumes can be very convincing from the outside. And then there are the hidden money leaks. The most boring category, and often the most expensive. Subscriptions, delivery fees, impulsive top-up purchases, convenience spending, food waste, ignored price increases, tiny recurring charges you stopped noticing, background spending that feels too small to matter. These leaks rarely look serious in isolation, but over a month, then a year, they quietly erase the benefits of higher income. The danger is not the drama. The danger is the repetition. This is why people say things like, I make more than ever, but I don't know where it goes. Usually the answer is not one dramatic mistake. It is death by 1,000 tolerated transactions. Money leaks because it is not being directed with enough clarity. And clarity matters more when income rises, not less. The higher your earnings go, the more dangerous financial autopilot becomes. Small negligence at a higher income can do real damage. There is also a social layer to this. As people earn more, they often begin spending to match a new identity. Better restaurants, better vacations, nicer clothes, upgraded social expectations, image maintenance, quiet competition with peers, and because these purchases are socially rewarded, they feel justified. But social approval is one of the most expensive categories in modern life. Plenty of people are broke at a higher level of aesthetics. The image gets upgraded faster than the balance sheet. This is why just make more money is incomplete advice. More money helps, yes, but wealth is not created by income alone. It is created by the gap between income and spending, by what gets invested, by what gets owned, and by what stops leaking. If there is no system capturing the improvement disappears into a nicer version of the same cycle. More cash without better behavior is often just faster drift. There is another trap here that people miss. Debt scales too. When income rises, some people do not only spend more, they borrow bigger. Better salary becomes permission for a larger car loan, a more expensive apartment, a higher credit card lifestyle, or financing decisions that looked manageable on paper but heavy in real life. And once fixed costs rise, freedom drops fast. High income with heavy obligations can still feel like financial suffocation. This is where rich behavior looks boring from the outside. People expect wealth building to be dramatic. Usually it is not. It is repetitive. It is structured. It is the decision to let income rise faster than lifestyle for longer than your ego wants to tolerate. That is the real flex. Not looking rich immediately, becoming stronger quietly. Delayed visible luxury often creates earlier invisible strength. Another important shift is learning to measure net worth, not salary. Salary tells you what comes in. Net worth tells you what stays. If your income doubles and your net worth barely moves, you are not really progressing the way you think you are. You are just handling more cash with the same weak structure. The scoreboard that matters is not income. It is retained and growing ownership. Income is exciting. Ownership is what changes your life. So what do you do instead? First, freeze lifestyle upgrades for a while after any raise. Second, automate a percentage of every income increase into savings or investments before you touch it. Third, audit recurring leaks every month until awareness becomes automatic. Fourth, question every status expense by asking one brutal thing. Does this improve my actual life or just my appearance to other people? That question alone can save an incredible amount of money. So here is your move this week. Look at your last 3 months of spending and find 3 things. One sign of lifestyle inflation, one habit that gets worse when you have more money, and one hidden leak that has been billing you in the background. Then redirect part of your next paycheck before you touch it, because if your next raise enters the same old system, will disappear the same old way. The new paycheck deserves a better structure than the old one had. Most people do not stay broke because they never earn more. They stay broke because income rises faster than awareness, structure, and restraint. Lifestyle inflation eats the raise. Bad habits scale with the paycheck. Hidden leaks drain what is left. And the result is a person who looks more successful from the outside while feeling just as trapped on the inside. More money solved the appearance problem. It never solved the system problem. That is the full picture. Making more money can improve your life, but only if your system improves with it. Keep the gap, automate the growth, plug the leaks. Otherwise, a bigger income just becomes a bigger stage for the same old problems. Subscribe if this helped, and I'll see you in the next video.